Colombia has suffered the impact of violence over several decades of armed conflict. This situation has affected community relations and the mental health of its population. These problems are made worse by the inequality, insecurity, and poverty that historically characterize Colombian areas most affected by the conflict. How can we heal these wounds accumulated by decades of conflict and avoid new cycles of violence? Peace needs forgiveness and reconciliation, as well as individual and social well-being. This is why the Schools of Forgiveness and Reconciliation were created. Schools inviting us to reflect on how to forgive and reconcile, to re-signify pain and change ways of thinking about life stories. In partnership with local knowledges, the schools work through memory, restorative justice, and an ethics of care to build a culture of peace. The Pathways to Reconciliation project sought to study the role of the schools in the psychological and social well-being of communities most exposed to the Colombian armed conflict. Over 3 years of field visits, through surveys, interviews, and dialogues, we studied the mental health, community ties, and life projects of young people and adults in territories of conflict. We found that the more communities experience violence, the harder it is to find the willingness to forgive and reconcile. Yet, going through the schools enabled participants to regain trust, challenge resentment, and strengthen community ties. People's mental health improved with participation in the ESPERE. Specifically, depression and insomnia declined, and this was maintained 3 months after having attended the schools. Participants' personal relationships were transformed. They now rethink their future and trust their ability to achieve goals. Inequality, poverty, and violence compromise life opportunities, but the ESPERE offer transformative experiences for individuals and communities. This makes them a valuable tool for developing public policies and building sustainable peace in Colombia and elsewhere.